Hi, welcome to lessonswithtroy.com. I'm Troy Brenningmeyer. Well, in this week's lesson, we're back to the C6 lap steel, tuned C, E, G, A, C, E from your lowest to your highest string. And this lesson is going to be volume number 1 of my Understanding the Fretboard series for C6 lap steel. And specifically in this lesson, we're going to be focusing on movable major scales, arpeggios, and patterns. So we're going to be focused specifically on the major scale for this one, and we're going to learn it in position there, and we're also going to learn it stretched out to where we can play it, all over the fretboard. So we got a lot to learn, 3 pages of tablature. Go ahead and print it out, and we'll jump on into Understanding the Fretboard, volume number 1 for C6 lap steel. Okay, so before we get going into the tablature, I just want to say that throughout this whole lesson we're going to be working with the key of F. Now, I specifically chose F just because it looks good in my camera angles. It's about in the middle of the fingerboard here, as opposed to C, which would be way up here, and we'd be working a little bit too high. F is a good key because it's about in the center, of your fingerboard, as far as about up to your 12th fret. That is, you're not going real high with it, but you can take everything that I show you here and move it to whatever key you want. But we'll just focus all these movable scales and patterns and arpeggios in the key of F today, which is based off your 5th fret. And like I said, if you want to move it around, just move it and move all the shapes with it as your bar moves to whatever fret goes with whatever key you want to be playing in. Okay, let's go ahead and get going with the tab now. Okay, so starting at measure 21, this is an exercise that I've been using to learn my 1st, 2nd, and 3rd string major scales up and down the fingerboard. And it's called an arpeggio pattern because we're actually taking these chords here, like that's a D minor chord, right, on your 5th fret, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd string. But instead of me playing it like that, I'm just individually just plucking those notes like that. Now what this does is this will ingrain in your mind a certain shape, right? When we go 5th fret, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd string, it's just a straight line. But if you notice, right, then we go back and play 5th fret, 1st string, but then when I go up to my 6th fret, 1st string, 7th fret, 2nd string, 7th fret, 3rd string, you see how one of those notes got moved back, so it's not all a straight line on your 7th fret, it's 6, 7, 7. So my suggestion to you is use this as a way to start to see the patterns of your fingerboard, right, to where you can see that that's 6, 7, 7. So one note is a little bit back from being a straight line. Other times maybe the 1st and 3rd string will be back, right? Like as we move on, we got 8th fret 1st string, 9th fret 2nd string, 8th fret 3rd string, and see how that's 2 notes are back from your 9th fret, or I think of that as more of a triangle shape, 8, 9, 8. So let's go ahead and learn this starting at measure 21. Okay, we've got 5th fret 1st string, 5th fret 2nd string, 5th fret 3rd string, and then we move up to 5th fret 1st string. And I should probably play this just to get this in your mind. So let me play this starting at measure 21 all the way through the octave there on my 13th fret 1st string. You see how it forms a nice little exercise? So as you're playing that, you start thinking of these shapes, and the way that I'm doing it is I'm actually tipping my bar up just a little bit, and as I come down each note, I'm actually just using the tip of my bar, moving it down. If you didn't want to do that, and you wanted to just keep a straight bar on there, be a little bit harder, but you'd use palm blocking. And as far as the right hand goes, you can try it several different ways. You know, maybe do middle finger on your first string, index finger on your second string, thumb on your third. See, I'm using palm blocking instead of tipping my bar up for that technique. So that's something that you could work on as well. I'd say just kind of, you know, work on it all if you want to really challenge your right hand using different techniques. So let's go over that one more time. 5th fret first string, 5th fret second string, 5th fret third string. Then go up to your 5th fret first string, then move up to the next pattern, which would be an E diminished arpeggio. 6th fret first string, 7th fret second string, 7th fret third string, back to 6th fret. See that pattern, 6, 7, 7, 6. And then move to your 8th fret first string, 9th fret second string, 8th fret third string. Notice the pattern there. And back to 8th fret first string. And we have a straight bar here on our 10th fret for a G minor chord. Move it up to 12th fret for that A minor chord. And then I just ended on the root note there. It's for a nice little exercise. Now notice the chords written above these, and in parentheses I have what the Roman numeral of that chord in relation to the key signature would be. So you start off with our 6th chord, our D minor chord. E diminished, our diminished 7th chord. And then F, our 1 chord. G minor, our 2 chord. A minor, our 3 chord. And then I just ended on that root note on 13th fret, first string. Okay, let's go ahead and move on.